I'm Helen.
I'm Ms Sinclair.
And I'm Edison. Y'all better grab your extra large popcorn. We are in the thick of things with great films.
I am open and positive.
I don't like it.
Let's throw on these boxing gloves.
Let's do it.
Let's fucking do it.
Welcome to Talk Movie to Me, a weekly podcast where we do a deep dive on a new release that's just hit theaters or streaming. I'm Helen.
I'm Ms Sinclair.
And I'm Edison, and this week we will not be doing that because we are bringing you a very special episode. This is one that I think, well, I know that we look forward to every year. It's also one we've heard from our listeners. It's a favorite of yours too. This is our 7th annual Most Anticipated Films of the Year episode. Woo!
Woohoo! Yes.
So similar to seasons past, Helen, Ms Sinclair, and myself, we've each picked the 5 movies that we cannot wait to see in 2024. There may be some shade thrown at the choices, especially towards Helen, who notoriously chooses terrible movies as her most anticipated.
Helen shades herself. Helen shades herself. We don't actually shade her.
That's true. I'm my
She's
own
her
worst
toughest critic.
And also, almost certainly, some of these picks won't actually come out this year, as we've seen in the past few years of our most anticipated lists.
The person we actually shade, though, is you, Edison. We shade your picks for real.
Actually, yeah.
But the thing is, I actually like all of my picks. And I guess maybe that's why you shade me.
Yeah.
But, okay, so before we jump into 2024's films, let's do a quick recap of our picks from last year's list, or even the ones from 22's list that had their release dates bumped to last year instead.
That we just waited forever for.
Totally, yes. So of those films, what were some of your highlights or some films that you are embarrassed about picking?
Okay, well, actually what I'm more embarrassed about is that I haven't actually seen 3 of my 5 from 2023. That's pretty bad.
Which ones?
I haven't seen Oppenheimer yet. I have not seen Eileen, and I haven't seen Foe, although I will say that Foe, I just was looking before. I was like, I'll watch it before we record tonight. And it's not available in Canada at all.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
You haven't really got the chance to. And
Yeah.
and Eileen, you also haven't got the chance to see either.
I know. I was looking for this. So you saw it, Sinclair. How did you see it?
I saw it because of they did a special screening at TIFF Bell Lightbox. It was like a limited theatrical release.
Okay.
And that's how I saw it. Otherwise, it hasn't really hit theaters. So,
Right.
Yeah. So those 2, fine. But my number 5, which is Oppenheimer, no excuse, really.
Yeah.
It's literally been in
Literally,
theaters
the
half
rest of the
year.
world saw it.
Yeah. The reason why I haven't seen Oppenheimer is because it's so long, and Justin and I did try to go one day, and then we got caught in traffic, and we ended up just going to the Sherway Gardens Mall instead. It's a long story, but I will see Oppenheimer. I will be enjoying it in the comfort of my own home where I can stop. I can watch it over multiple sittings if necessary. But yeah, so I'm a little bit embarrassed about my list from last year. Although I have to say, number 1 was Barbie, and that was an incredible pick on my part.
yes.
Yes.
And I loved Barbie so much.
And who could have possibly predicted that Barbie and Oppenheimer would be so hand in hand as they were?
I know. And then number 4 is Wonka, which I have seen, and we are doing an episode on this next week. So you'll hear our thoughts about that next week.
Oh, you'll hear them. I have been dying to talk about Oppenheimer with you, Helen.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'll do it
Because I
this
do
week.
feel like we're
Sorry.
going to feel a bit similarly.
I think so too. Yeah. Yeah. And then in terms of my 2022 list, there's only one movie that I couldn't see in 2022 that I saw this past year, which was previously titled Disappointment Boulevard, actually titled Beau is Afraid. Sinclair and I saw this together, and we hated it.
No, we hated
So,
it. We did.
yeah. Yeah.
I still haven't seen it.
That was a Disappointment Boulevard.
Just 3 hours.
Yeah, it was
that movie.
It was really not at all what I wanted it to be, and I'll never watch it again, that's for sure.
We walked out, and Helen was just like, you know what? I don't think men should ever be able to make movies ever again.
Oh yeah, I did say that.
I really didn't like it.
Yeah, I was like, men are grounded from making movies for a while.
Yeah. Sitting through that.
Ugh.
Okay, Edison.
Okay, well, of the film, I mean, I'm not embarrassed of any of my picks because
you probably should be.
No.
You should be.
It was Oppenheimer, The Killer, Wonka, Indiana Jones, which I still stand behind as being a fun film, and Dune, which still has not come out yet.
No. Okay, so that's not that bad. That's not that bad. Indiana Jones, though, not great. I don't agree with you on that one. I don't agree about Oppenheimer with you. We've fought about that a little bit. But overall, I mean, that's a pretty decent list.
Not terrible. I will say, though, it's interesting because in 2022, I had the Marvel trifecta, right? Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, Thor, Love and Thunder, the Black Panther sequel. I was really excited about all those films. And the MCU has kind of lost its spark for me. Like, the films that come out this year have not been... I mean, other than Guardians 3 I liked,
This year.
Yes, and there's only one official MCU release coming out in 2024, Deadpool 3, which I guess I'm excited about, but like not really. And I don't know. Maybe I don't care.
Just to be clear, with our anticipated episodes, we're allowed to pick 5 movies. And Edison managed to squeeze in a trifecta of 3 films for 1 pick, which is a major cheat and actually not allowed and frowned upon.
Although I think we did mention this in that episode that we were grateful that we didn't have to sit through 3 separate picks of Marvel movies. That would have been worse.
I was doing that for you. You're welcome.
Yeah, that's true.
Wow. This is the thanks I get. Okay, what about you, Sinclair?
Okay, so last year, my picks were Infinity Pool, Eileen, The Zone of Interest, The Killer, and Dune Part 2. The only one I haven't seen, Dune Part 2, come on.
I know.
Where's it at? Now, yes, of course, I do have more time to actually read the second half of Dune, which I have not done yet. And I'm honestly not looking forward to it.
No.
But I am looking forward to Dune Part 2. I can't wait. I think we have to wait till, March?
Yes.
March, yeah.
Now.
I will say that would just be automatically catapulted to the top of my most anticipated of this upcoming years, but I'm not incling it as
we're
it was.
not going to include it because it was on our previous list.
Exactly.
So we're just going to, wait for that one on bated breath. So Eileen, I did see really, really good. Excited for Helen to see that one so we can discuss it.
Hello. Hi.
Well, you too, Edison.
You forgot we even put it on our list, so you don't count. Sorry.
So Helen and I have both read this book, and we also included this on our anticipated list, and we've been talking about it. And Edison did send a message in our group chat with the Eileen trailer, and he was like, "Wow, this looks really good, guys." And we're like, "Yes, we know." Thank you for that. The Killer, I really liked The Killer. I think it's kind of divided in terms of its audience. Edison didn't work so much for you. It did work for me. I really liked it. The Zone of Interest I got to see about a week ago. I loved it. I thought it was
I can't wait to see that.
A really incredible piece of art.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Really thought-provoking, and it's so amazing that movies like that exist. I was very happy with that. And then Infinity Pool, I didn't actually love. Like, some people do like Infinity Pool. I wouldn't call it a bad movie in any way. I definitely liked Brandon Cronenberg's film Possessor a lot better than this one. But, some people really like it. It was just okay for me. But overall, I'm pretty happy with this list. And then as for the year prior, the movies that finally did come out, obviously Beau is Afraid, which I hated with a passion. Finally got to see Poor Things. That was on my list 2 years ago. It has finally come out. It's incredible. I can't wait to talk about that with you guys. And
next week on this double feature episode with Wonka. So make sure that you tune back in for that one.
Yeah. And then I am ashamed. This is kind of like the Oppenheimer with Helen. I had not watched Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah, it's 3.5 hours.
It's 3.5 hours. I didn't see it in the theater, and I know everybody's like, oh, you're not really a Martin Scorsese fan. It's like, no, I'm getting old.
Yeah, you only have one
My
bladder,
back hurts.
so...
I have a weak bladder.
Oh my God.
So everyone can just shove it. Okay. And right now it's like $25 to rent on Apple TV.
Ooh.
So I am waiting until I can use my Apple TV Plus subscription. The end.
Fair. That's fair.
The end. Okay, well, that was great. Thank you for that nice
Positive.
little walk.
Tranquil walk through memories past.
Yes. But we are here to talk about the future. And so let's jump right into our list of 2024's most anticipated films, starting with number 5 on our list. Helen, what is yours?
I always get so nervous
can
for
I
this.
just say that we love this episode so much, and I feel like it's because we love this anticipation and this optimism of what's to come, and this is all before we eventually see things and get disappointed.
Yeah,
Totally.
This is always the fun part.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, my number 5 pick is a movie called Night Bitch. This is based on a 2021 novel by Rachel Yoder. An artist who pauses her career to be a stay-at-home mom seeks a new chapter in her life and encounters just that when her nightly routine takes a surreal turn and her maternal instincts begin to manifest in canine form. So the novel was adapted into a screenplay by Marielle Heller, and she's the director as well. She adapted and directed Diary of a Teenage Girl. She also directed Can You Ever Forgive Me and A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. And this is starring Amy Adams.
Mm-hmm.
This is being described as magical realism, which I love. And I also love, a twisted female lead. And I feel like this is going to have, a lot of darkness to it. I also just think the title Night Bitch is so great.
Mm-hmm. It's a great title.
Yeah. So, and I think I'm going to try to read the book too before
I
the
have
movie
it.
comes
You
out.
can borrow it.
Have you read it already?
No, I started to read it and I was like, I was not in the mood for metaphors of being a mother. Like I wasn't in the mood for it, but I do have it and you can borrow it if you want. Yeah.
Well, I have liked books like that in the past couple of years, so I think I actually will quite enjoy it. So yeah, that's my number 5.
I'm excited for that one too. I think I want Amy Adams to get a win again. It's been a little while. She's in a bit of a career slump.
Okay, Sinclair, what's your number 5?
Okay, my number 5, I picked The Wolfman. This is directed by Lee Winnell, who did The Invisible Man with Elizabeth Moss. That was really good.
Yeah.
Surprisingly so, actually. He also did a really cool movie called, it was a sci-fi movie called Upgrade, which was really fun to watch. This movie was originally supposed to be directed by Derek Cianfrance and star Ryan Gosling. There were scheduling issues. They both exited the project, and then Lee Winnell took over, and it's now going to be starring Christopher Abbott as the Wolfman.
Okay.
But this is kind of like the new era of making movies about the old school Hollywood monsters. And Lee Winnell did a really good job with modernizing The Invisible Man. As I'm a really big fan of the original movie, The Invisible Man, and I thought he did a really good job of putting it in modern times. And I think that he could do a great job with the Wolfman. Christopher Abbott, I think, will be really great in this part. And Invisible Man was kind of considered to be like a Cronenbergian type of film. Christopher Abbott also did Possessor. He's worked with Brandon Cronenberg, so he's kind of worked within that genre before, and I think that he'll do a really good job. And it looks like it has an October release date, October 2024, and they're supposed to start shooting it soon. But I think that'll be really fun.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay, Edison.
What's your number 5?
Oh, sorry, Edison. What's your number 5? You always need the most official intro.
Yes, I do. Thank you. Do you want to just do it again? Just do it again.
Oh, really? Okay, and Edison, what is your number 5 pick? I can't wait. I'm so excited. Go.
Okay, so my number 5 pick is Twisters.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
So the movie Twister from 1996. This is an absolute core memory film for me. I
Same.
have rewatched it many times over the years, and it absolutely still holds up. The performances are great. The storm sequences, the like quite adult and complex relationship between Bill Paxton and Helen Hunt's characters, also Philip Seymour Hoffman. It's just so good.
The CGI doesn't hold up, but everything else does. The CGI
That's
is
fair.
pretty bad.
But was pretty incredible at the time. But I did not know that there was another film being planned. And when I first heard of this, my initial thought was like, ugh, please don't ruin it. But then I found out that it would be directed by Lee Isaac Chung, the Oscar-nominated director of the really beautiful, intimate, like deeply personal film Minari. And that absolutely piqued my interest. It was originally planned as a remake of Twister, but then now it's maybe a sequel, or it's being referred to as a new chapter. So it's not entirely clear if it's going to have any connection to the predecessor. But it does have a $200 million budget. So clearly the studio is confident in the story and the vision. And it's starring Daisy Edgar-Jones and Glenn Powell and Anthony Ramos. And I think this is going to be really fun for sure. It comes out July 19th, so right middle summer blockbuster. I can't wait.
Yeah, I am excited for this too.
Yay. All right, Helen, what is number 4 on your list?
Oh, I'm sort of nervous to say this, but it's Joker.
Oh,
Fully adieu.
Okay, yeah, this is a surprising choice for you, for
let
sure.
the shade commence.
Well, listen, I didn't like Joker. However, I love Lady Gaga. And Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn, I think, could be really interesting. And her and Joaquin Phoenix together, I think, could be really interesting. And I have like faith in her as a woman that maybe she can bring like a feminine touch to the sequel, because I think so much of what bothered me about the first one was it didn't have any sort of female gaze to it at all. And you know, that it's going to be directed by Todd Phillips again. I have hope that maybe this will be interesting. I don't know. So, you know, it's anticipated in the sense that, like, I think it's going to be a big release. I'm definitely going to see it. And will I hate it? I don't know. Maybe not.
Yeah. But she brings 100% to everything. And
Yeah.
I think it is pretty rare for her to attach herself to an
Anything.
acting project. Well, anything, but also like an acting project that she loves to really
Like,
dig
she has
in
to
and
believe
be
in it.
deep. So yeah.
Her stamp of approval gives me hope because I trust her as an artist.
Yes.
So,
And
we'll
you
see.
know that at least she'll be entertaining in it, even
Yeah.
if you hate the rest of it.
Yeah,
That's fair.
exactly.
We'll all see it. We may all
Yeah.
hate it. Maybe it'll surprise us, but
Yeah.
we'll definitely all see it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Ooh. Okay, Sinclair, what's your number 4?
Okay, well, speaking of Joaquin Phoenix, my number 4 pick is Polaris. It's directed by Lynn Ramsey, and it's starring Joaquin Phoenix and Rooney Mara, my favorite
Ooh la
Hollywood
la.
couple.
Yeah.
The plot is set in Alaska during the 1890s. An ice photographer meets the devil. That's it.
I love it. I
That's
love
it.
it.
Uh, This is
Wow.
Yes. This is in post-production. I think that there are rumors that it will premiere at Cannes in 2024, but I mean, who knows with how things go. It is being described as a horror thriller. This is Rooney Mara and Joaquin Phoenix's 4th movie together, which I think is really nice. It's, you know, they're a Hollywood couple. They have a family. It's probably a good way for them to like work and remain a family. They're both incredibly talented, and they both work with really great directors. So I am really excited about this one, and I just hope it comes out this year. That would be really nice. But there are another two that I think as a couple, they are kind of choosy about what they do together. So
Yeah.
Joaquin Phoenix has already worked with Lynn Ramsey on You Were Never Really Here, and I really love that. So
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay, Edison. What is your next pick? Number 2?
4.
Ms Sinclair, get your shit together.
Number 4.
Okay, number 4 for me is a film called Queer. And so this is directed by Luca Guadagnino. And he's got a couple of films coming out this year that are going to be hype-worthy. Challenger, starring Zendaya, is coming out in the spring. That is interesting because it's going to test her ability to carry a film as a lead at the box office, I think. And I'm sure that it'll be good. I'm excited to see that. But the one I'm most excited about is Queer, which is an adaptation of William S. Burroughs' story of the same name, which was originally written in 1951 or 53, but actually not released until 1985 because of its explicitly homosexual content.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So the story is it's set in Mexico City in the 1940s and stars Daniel Craig as an American expat. And he's fleeing a drug bust in New Orleans and develops this messy romance with a younger guy played by the absolutely gorgeous Drew Starkey. And this young guy's into drugs too. So the whole thing is going to be sort of debaucherous and sexy like Guadagnino does and sweaty. And all the costumes are by the Wave creative director, Jonathan Anderson. So it's going to be gorgeous. I am so excited for this movie. I love Daniel Craig and he's got a certain sex appeal. And I think him directed by Guadagnino in this context, it's going to be really hot.
Yeah.
There's no confirmed release date on this one yet either. It's in post-production. So of all the films on my list, I do think this is the one that may be most likely to actually get pushed back to 2025. But we may see it premiere at the festivals in the spring or at Venice in the summer.
Yeah.
I hope so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Helen, what is number 3 on your list?
Yes. Okay. Well, so far we've had no crossover. Impressive. My number 3 is Mickey 17. This is Bong Joon-ho's follow-up to Parasite, starring Robert Pattinson. It also has Mark Ruffalo and Toni Collette. So here's the description. Feature adaptation of the science fiction novel by Edward Ashton follows the story of Mickey 17, an expendable, quote-unquote, who is a disposable employee of a human expedition sent to colonize the ice world Niflheim. After one iteration dies, a new body is regenerated with most of his memories intact. You know, if this wasn't directed by Bong Joon-ho, I don't think I would have picked it. But because it is, again, I'm putting my trust in him as a filmmaker. And I love all the actors involved. It sounds like a really interesting premise. But yeah, I'm excited about this one. It seems mysterious. There's like a little teaser trailer out that doesn't really tell you anything, but I think it's going to be good. I hope so.
Well, I'm really excited for this too. I'm going to jump in because it's also my number 3.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Okay, so both your number 3. Interesting.
Yes.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, yes, obviously anything that Bong Joon-ho was going to do next was going to be hotly anticipated. We will remember that, all of the listeners will remember that Parasite won Best International Film, Best Screenplay, Best Director, and Best Film at the Oscars.
Yeah.
All eyes are going to be on this one. It does sound like a super exciting premise. I'm also so into it. Also, shout out to Naomi Aki, who's in it, who played Whitney, and I Want to Dance with Somebody. So I'm excited for that, too, because she was excellent in that film. And yeah, I just think it's neat. I think it'll be kind of, I'm interested to see what his commentary is. Like, what is he, this character of Mickey who dies and just keeps dying and being like
cloned.
Regenerated or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, what is he trying to say with that?
Right. Yeah.
It's going to be really cool.
Yeah.
Ms. Sinclair, what is your number 3 pick?
Okay, my number 3 pick is Megalopolis.
Oh,
okay.
Nice.
This is directed by Francis Ford Coppola. It stars Adam Driver, Aubrey Plaza, Jason Schwartzman. The list honestly goes on. I'm hoping that it's not a celebrity circle jerk, which I normally don't enjoy. But I mean, this is one of the best directors of all time. And yeah, so basically it is about an architect who wants to rebuild New York City as a utopia following a devastating disaster. Francis Ford Coppola wanted to... He started writing this in the 80s. So it has been like a long time coming. He tried to make it in 2001. Then September 11th happened. And that kind of halted it because, you know, this is a movie about devastation. Nobody's going to want to see New York being devastated at that time. Started making it again in 2019. I think they spent like $100 million on this. There's been reports of it being way over budget.
Yeah.
Well, it's also not they spending $100 million. It's
him. Yeah. So, so much of his money has gone into this too.
That's a passion project if I've ever seen one.
Honestly.
Yeah, I think he had to like take some money from like his vineyards and his wine that he's been selling.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think that if there's any director who knows about working on a disastrous production, it's Francis Ford Coppola. He made Apocalypse Now. So, I mean, if anyone can do it, he can. And, you know, he hasn't done anything really in a while that's been, like, really critically acclaimed. And he's, like, one of the best directors of all time. So, I hope this works out for him. It'd be nice to see him have a film, you know, come out and do really well. Okay, so since Edison jumped the line and has already said his pick, Helen, what is your number 2?
Okay, so my number 2 is Challengers, that you already mentioned, Edison, the Luca Guadagnino. This is starring Zendaya, Josh O'Connor, and Mike Feist. Here's the description. Follows 3 players who knew each other when they were teenagers as they compete in a tennis tournament to be the world-famous Grand Slam winner and reignite old rivalries on and off the court. So we've gotten the trailer for this. It looks very sexy. You know, we essentially have some sort of threesome relationship happening between these 3 main characters. And then we're seeing them as teenagers and as adults. Because it's Luca Guadagnino, I feel like, you know, we see so much in the trailer that I feel like there has to be some other dark storyline running through this that we're not seeing. And that's kind of what I'm hooked into. I want to see what else have we not seen in this trailer, because it feels like you're seeing the whole story, but there's got to be something else underneath that. And I mean, Zendaya is so incredible in Euphoria. I am excited to see her carry a big film like this. And yeah, I mean, I'm a little bit nervous, but I hope it does well. It looks like it's coming out in April, so
I hope it does well too, and I think it will. Yeah. I think that she can. She's got so much charisma. Like, I think people will turn out to see her film.
He hasn't really made a bad film.
Right. I mean,
no, totally.
You know, Bones and All was really
it was divisive, like not
but but never a bad film.
Yeah, agree. Yeah, I would agree. Okay, Sinclair, what's your number 2?
My number 2 is Mickey 17.
Okay.
Nice. Oh, interesting.
Love it. It's on all
this
list.
is like high up on my list.
I am confused.
You're confused about what my number 1 is?
What is absent?
I think I know what your number 1 is.
I thought I guarantee it's one of my top 2, but I don't know.
So do you think we might have the same number 1?
Perhaps. We'll see.
Okay, interesting.
There's a 50-50
actually,
chance.
no. You know what? I think I know your number 1, and I don't think we have the same number 1. Oh, okay. So, Mickey 17. This is high up on my list because I love sci-fi so much, and I think that there hasn't really been a great sci-fi film that's come out. You know, there's been 65 with Adam Driver, big stinker. The Creator, not gonna watch that. Not gonna do it.
I watched it. It was not great.
Yeah, no. So when you get a sci-fi film in the hands of a director like Bong Joon-ho, there is hope for the genre, and I think that he can bring the depth to it, and you know, the social questions, the political questions. You know, it is about this. We don't know yet. We don't know if he's a clone, he's an expendable, but basically, is this person being exploited? Is this person in a certain class of clone or whatever he is. So I feel like this does fit into something that he would want to direct. So that's good. I think he'll bring the depth and the questions to it, and we'll have some like really interesting sci-fi finally with it.
Yes.
Because I feel like the genre's just been, in terms of film, has been, not as great as of late.
Uninspiring, yeah.
It's been uninspired, yeah. Not asking the big questions like it should be. Yeah. Okay, Edison. What number are we on? Two? Still?
Do you not have your picks numbered?
No, Edison. Well, they are, but I just, okay.
You
I'm
have
not good
one
at math.
job.
I'm not good at math. Edison, what is your number 2?
Yes, the math of counting to 5.
Counting
So
down
difficult.
to 5.
Number 2. My number 2 most anticipated film of 2024 is Nosferatu.
Okay.
This is okay. So this is directed by Robert Eggers, and it's based obviously off of the 1922 masterpiece film Nosferatu. We have seen some imagery come out of this already, and it looks incredible. Yes, the Northmen I didn't like because it was just too real, and those Vikings were definitely smelly, but I'm not trying to be attracted to the vampire in Nosferatu at all. This is not a sexy vampire story. So
it wasn't supposed to be a sexy Viking movie. And we're not getting into it.
Yeah, Vikings are by default sexy though, so it should be. But this is not. This is an awful, awful monster. And yes, Willem Dafoe is in this. Nicholas Hoult, Emma Corrin, Lily Rose Depp. Okay, Aaron Taylor Johnson is in this, so there's going to be some sex there.
Yeah,
but this is going to be really good. It is. I know that it's going to be atmospheric, scary as shit. It's going to be great. Cannot wait. Yeah. Cannot wait. You're both silent. I feel like maybe okay, but anyways, Helen, what is your number 2 film?
Wait, no. We're on number 1 now, aren't we?
Number one.
Yes. Yep. See, I can do math. I can
math. My God.
I can math.
Okay, so here we go in the final moment. Drum roll, please. Helen, what is the number 1 most anticipated film on your list?
Any guesses?
Is it Nosferatu?
No.
Okay.
Is it Furiosa?
No. But I'm surprised we haven't seen that yet.
I think we will.
Okay. My number 1 is Wicked.
What?
Wicked Part 1. Now listen.
No, it's on brand. It makes sense. Yeah.
It is on brand.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Helen, I love you. I can't wait to revisit this list next year.
Okay, listen. I have to explain myself. Okay, the novel Wicked was written in 1995 by Gregory Maguire. Okay, I read this book when I was in high school. The musical came out in 2003. I was so obsessed with this musical in high school, and it was one of the first musicals I saw when I moved to New York, and I was so moved by it. I just like sat in my seat and wept. Now, yes, I have been excited for this film, although it has been like 20 years in the making, and it has stopped and started so many times that I lost my excitement. So initially, when I saw that this was being made with Ariana Grande, Cynthia Erivo was incredible. Ariana Grande. Yeah. So I lost my luster for it. I lost my excitement for it. But when I was making this list, I was like, you know what? I have been anticipating this movie since I was a teenager. And I love the music in this musical. And the fact, I didn't realize this until today, but this is part 1, meaning there's going to be a part 2, meaning that this is going to be a fleshed out story. And I think
hope is the spring that never runs dry.
And you're wearing a really green sweater.
Yes, I didn't even plan that, but I think that is just kismet. The release date is planned for November 27th, 2024. So it's going to be like that's the time of the movies that are the big movies. So I'm really putting myself out on a limb here. I know that, but it could be incredible, or it could be Cats, which incredible,
which would also be great.
So we will see. Jeff Goldblum's in this too, Sinclair.
I do love him.
Just saying.
Okay. Yes. Sinclair, what's your number 1?
My number one is Nosferatu, bitches.
I knew it. It had to be. I knew it.
Obviously. And this is what happened. Okay, this is when the year that I put The Northman as my number one. Edison didn't put it as his number one. And I got mad at him.
You did.
And I was like, how did you not put that as number one? So this year, once again, how did you not put Nosferatu as number one? But I think it's because I know what you put as your number one. And we'll get to that. But in the meantime, Nosferatu. I've been waiting for this for a really long time because they announced this project years back that this was in development. And I've been just on a bed of nails, just waiting for this.
Unhinged, salivating.
Just unhinged, a gothic tale of obsession and vampires. I can't wait. Yeah, this is, I think, kind of a sure bet. I've loved everything
Northman
that he's
wasn't
done.
as much of a hit as I think we thought it was going to be.
It was a hit for me. It was a hit in my heart. I love it. I think that in years to come, people are going to look back and they'll be like, oh, the Northman's really rad. And I'm going to be like, yeah,
I'll rewatch it through a different lens and probably enjoy it.
Yeah.
If you watch it not going in being like, I want to see hot Vikings, and you go in and you're like, I want to see like this bloody tale of revenge, then it's good. But, you know, I digress. Willem Dafoe is in this as well. He'll be amazing. He has a connection with this story as well. He famously has done In the Shadow of the Vampire. This is supposed to come out in December 2024. Let's hope, because I think when Northman was supposed to come out, it got pushed back.
Yeah, because it was like a February release or something, right?
I think it was because of COVID too, but I had to wait for the Northman, and I am not waiting for this.
No, I don't think that they're going to make us wait for this. I think this will come out on time because they are definitely going to try and angle for awards attention for this film, I think.
Mm-hmm. But just seeing the stills from sets,
amazing.
the promo photos, it just gets me all excited. So can't wait.
There's been some cool stills from Wicked too. Cynthia all green, you know.
She's great. Cynthia's great.
She is great.
Sure. Yeah. I love that Edison's not fully supporting you on this.
I actually thought it was going to be the opposite. I thought Edison was
exactly. And I'm the one, and I think it's because my new attitude in 2024. But I'm actually the one being supportive of you.
Sinclair,
and
your new year, new attitude. We go through this every year. It lasts until January 4th.
Yeah, it's January 2nd.
We've got two. So, everyone enjoy your last 2 days, and by the time that episode comes out, she'll be over it.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I can't believe you picked Wicked. What?
I know. I'm going to eat my words. I know it. Oh, well.
Okay, Edison. Let's hear it. Number one.
Yes. Okay, number one for me is Furiosa, a Mad Max saga.
Okay, there we go.
Yes. I mean, so Mad Max Fury Road is easily one of my favorite films of the past decade. Such a good movie. It was so fucking electric when it came out. Seeing that on the big screen, it was like, man, this energy is insane. And the best part of it was Charlize Theron as Furiosa.
I know.
And while I wish that there would have been a Furiosa standalone film with Charlize Theron, I am not mad at Anya Taylor-Joy playing this character. I think that she'll kill it. She's super exciting, incredible on screen. And I like the sort of, so this is sort of like the origin story of Furiosa. It's like a prequel to Fury Road. And so it's basically telling the story of how her being originally kidnapped by Immortan Joe and his people, and then her climbing up through the ranks to become his general or whatever, Imperator was her title. And Hot Thor, Chris Hemsworth, is also in this movie. Although he doesn't look recognizable. The trailer is out. The trailer looks sensational, as to be expected. I mean, this movie is going to be badass. It's just going to be badass.
Yeah. The trailer got me really excited for this. And this is definitely one that I would normally put on my list. I do feel a bit gun shy about it, though. There is something where I just feel a bit nervous. Like I don't feel 100% in. Obviously I was a little bit salty about it not being Charlize Theron and having it have to be a younger version. At the same time, I don't think Charlize Theron would do a movie like this again. She notoriously did not have a good experience making this film. So I really, really hope this is good.
I
too.
really hope.
I do.
There's a chance that it might just be that it might not be, but I don't think. I trust in the people that are in this. I think it's going to be really good.
If it's anything like the trailer, then we should hope for a good time. Then,
yeah, for sure. Ooh, all right.
Interesting lists. Okay, well, we're all excited for Mickey 17. That was the only one that got all of our lists.
That was the only one that was on all three, right?
Yeah.
All three, and then crossover for Nosferatu for me and Edison.
Yeah.
And then Helen with Wicked.
Listen, another thing in defense of my choice is none of you put Barbie on your list last year, and that was a huge win for me. And that was my number one. So we don't know. We don't know.
You are absolutely true. That is absolutely correct. Yes.
If anything, I think Wicked is at least going to make a lot of money.
It will definitely do that. That's for sure. Yeah. Well, and also we really want to hear your picks. So send us an email, message us on Instagram, connect. We want to hear what you picked for your most anticipated. Why are you laughing, Sinclair? I know. Why not do it?
Yeah, well, you could send us an email if you want at talkmovietome at gmail.com. You can follow us on Instagram. You can message us there at talkmovietome.
You can listen to us on YouTube if Edison posts the video.
Yeah, that's a big if. So we'll see about
might
that.
not be there.
Oh my God, it is.
You can listen to this episode on YouTube in about 4 weeks from now.
Yeah, when
Edison
Edison
remembers
remembers he's supposed to do that. So, stay tuned. You can anticipate.
Yeah. All right. Well, here's to 2024. Let's see what happens.
Woo!
I'm Helen.
I'm Ms Sinclair.
And I'm Edison. Woo!